This webinar will discuss proper email and communication etiquette with professors and other faculty. Let's first review how to speak with professors and faculty. Like any other professional relationship, you want to make a good impression. One way to do this is to avoid slang or foul language when speaking to a faculty member. You may also engage in small talk, such as asking how they're doing. However, if your professor says they can quickly talk to you, you better get to the point. They have a busy schedule, so you need to make sure you make the most of your time. You will also want to make sure you address them by their proper name. By doing so, and by being respectful and polite, you will create a good impression. Whether you are communicating in person or over a video conference call, it is important that you have an agenda for your meeting. You should come prepared with specific questions that you want answered or clarified. You may forget a question while you're on the call, so if you write down your questions beforehand, you will make sure you get all of the information you need. You can even make follow-up appointments if you want to check back in or need some more time to review material. Just make sure that before you leave, you thank them for your time. It is also important that you communicate often with your professors or other faculty you are working with. Since they cannot regularly see you anymore on campus to check in, it is important that you respond to all of their emails or schedule video conference calls in a timely fashion. Professors and faculty want to work with you, but that requires strong communication skills on both sides. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be available 24/7. So if you email a professor at 1 a.m. asking to video chat at 7 a.m., they may not see that email if they're sleeping. Therefore, it is generally a good rule of thumb to give someone 24 hours to respond. Lastly, be patient with your professors and faculty. Now, let's discuss proper email etiquette. First, you will want to make sure you are using your Washington College email. Second, you will want to use formal language because it is a professional method of communication. And just as importantly, use a specific subject line that relates to the message of your email. Let's look at an example email. Hello, Dr. Example. Would you please be willing to go over my incorrect answers on quiz number 1 with me? I looked over it, but cannot figure out what exactly I am doing wrong. Is there any chance you are available for a video chat appointment either Tuesday or Thursday afternoon between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m.? Thank you in advance. Star Student. Notice the greeting that addresses the recipient by proper name. Next, the body paragraph is short and to the point. The student also makes sure to ask a specific question about a professor's willingness to meet to go over incorrect answers from a quiz. The student then proposes times on 2 different days that they are available for video chat. The email is closed by thanking the professor and signed with the student's name. If you follow this example when writing to a professor, you will communicate in a professional and appropriate manner. Let's move on to other platform etiquette such as Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, Canvas conference video, chats, and any other platform that allows you to see and hear your professor. First, remember that other students, professors, and faculty can see you if your camera is on. If you wouldn't wear your outfit on campus, then it should be assumed that you would not wear it for virtual class either. It is also important to take your space into account. Try finding a space such as a dining room table where you can have the camera on your face and also have an appropriate background. In addition, professors will still be able to see that you're paying attention or if you're being distracted. So, when in virtual class or on Skype with a professor, try to stay off your phone or from playing games and any other distractions you can think of. Also, be aware when your microphone is on and what sound it is picking up. It is likely that you are not the only person in your household working from home. So, if you are supposed to be speaking with a professor soon, but your little sibling just came into the dining room to play, it might be better to find another area or tell your family not to interrupt during that time. This also goes for when you're in class. If a family member is being loud, then you can usually turn off your microphone on Zoom, Canvas, conferences, etc. until you need to speak. This way, your entire class isn't hearing your sister practice violin or whatever the noisy distraction might be. If you need information on how to manage distractions at home, please watch the Managing Distractions webinar on the OAS website. Lastly, it may be awkward, weird, or uncomfortable at first to be on video chat with your classmates or your professors, but don't let that take away from your education. It is expected that you should treat it like class or meeting and that you should participate. With all of that said, learning and communicating with faculty and staff from home is something new for many students. Therefore, don't let some of the rules or guidelines stop you from communicating, because any communication is better than no communication, especially when learning from home. If you are really worried about if an email or message sounds good or is appropriate, share it with a family member to get some feedback. Also, make sure you check any recent emails or notifications to make sure your question wasn't already answered. Lastly, everyone is doing the best they can right now, so make sure you have patience and an understanding for your fellow classmates and professors. Just like you can't help if your dog starts barking while on a call, your classmates or professors may not be able to either. To summarize, communicating with professors, students, and other faculty is very important while learning and working remotely. While it is preferred that the communication etiquette discussed in this video is followed, any communication is valuable. Do not let your fear of not being professional enough or thinking you sound dumb stop you from getting the education you deserve. If you have any more questions on this topic, please book an appointment with an academic skills tutor.